Hello, YouTube fans, friends, new recruits, and veterans to the channel. This is Alternate History Gaming, where we try to recreate history but can't, so it's alternate. I am your humble and gracious player host, Bank60s, although today is less of a gameplay exhibition or playthrough, really more of a show and tell. There's a lot of excitement in the historical wargaming community because there's something new on offer, as we just found out from the makers of Grand Tactician, the series of games that include the 7 Years' War, the Civil War, and now the Napoleonic Wars. This is the new gameplay announced trailer for Grand Tactician, the Napoleonic Wars. I want to play some of the trailer here. Before I get to it, please do give us the thumbs up here. We're a small channel trying to grow. On that note, subscribe. I'd appreciate it if you did that. For now, let's get into what Grand Tactician has in store for us right here. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Okay. All right. So right there, you are seeing a bunch of what are fantastic next level graphics. You have historic column by division formations moving to and fro. The skirmishers you can see on the screen right here. The fields. I mean, look at that map. It looks like Manor Lords almost. Type of graphics. Obviously, this is all pre-build stuff, and it looks fantastic thus far. Like I'm looking at a painting. Look at the little village right down there. Let's see what else we have here. Holy moly! Now this is interesting. Let's go back really quick. All these little horses around here. See my mouse? I wonder what all of that entails. And it would appear you have almost like a Scourge of War style control system, question mark, here, because there are flags, it would appear, to point and click on, to perhaps select and then move units. Wow, look at all of this with the fire and the smoke. Oh my. Oh my. Massive battles. Very historical looking. Fantastic. Column by division, moving forward, assault column, if you will. Napoleonic Wars by Grand Tactician. Some artwork here. Nice. This is great. Will you become the master of Europe? Grand Tactician doing a thing now. There are some who probably knew that this was coming, by the way. If this may actually have been perhaps Grand Tactician's worst kept secret. If you had been paying attention to what they'd been writing in their developer blogs here, the dev blogs from as far back as May and July, they're talking about different ways that they're doing their combat system separate from the way they did it in the Civil War title, Grand Tactician, the Civil War 1861 to 1865. The combat systems dev blog in particular seems to suggest this part where they discuss how when units interact, there will be a lot more individual movement among the little troops that are in each unit. Here, this example C here, depending on a melee and the way that it works out against a well-formed and defending unit, could break apart and such. You can see the way that different combat might work there. Countercharge and the pursuit. If you go into these dev blogs and you read about what they were preparing to do to change the combat engine in particular, as well as command and control, which is another one of the more recent dev blogs, you will see, like, you can pick up that what they were probably going to evolve into was a Napoleonic War product. And honestly, where most 19th century wargaming products will start at is the Civil War, and then they'll transition into the Napoleonic Wars. That's where all the groggy nuts reside, right? So here we are, Grand Tactician Napoleonic Wars. Also, if you didn't catch it, at the very end, right, or the bottom, you see 1792 to 1815. So it covers, I guess, that wide range of time between when Napoleon was in Italy and then his campaigns in Germany and on beyond after he became emperor and so on. Let's read their official announcement right here, right? Mon General, we're excited to officially announce the sequel to Grand Tactician: The Civil War, expanding into a full game series. The new title, Grand Tactician: Napoleonic Wars. This independently developed real-time strategy game covers a turbulent era in European history, beginning with the French Revolutionary Wars. During this time, a little-known young Corsican cast a shadow over the continent's future, lending his name to a new era of warfare and rising to great glory before meeting a bitter end. Follow the development of our massive project. Start by wishlisting the game on the newly opened Steam store page. Oh my word. You know we're going to have to do that. Yeah, let's add to the wish list. Let's check out some of the screenshots. Let's just full screen these just real quick and just kind of, we got a nice glimpse during the trailer, right? Now we're going to take a little bit more of a detailed look. Fantastic. You've got formations moving ahead. Again, this pre-alpha. It looks like, yeah, you got maybe a little bit of jank in the way that a formation, there's a skirmish formation, looks out, it's moving to the left, and then it might, you know, collide and look a little janky as it's moving through this column by division formation here. It's obviously skirmishers that are out ahead of this unit, but it appears as though an order system may exist, as I kind of mentioned a bit ago, similar to Scourge of War, where you're able to detach skirmishers from a unit. And by the way, that's also similar to Grand Tactician's product in the Civil War. You can do the very same thing. I'm guessing anyway, there's a chance that with each battalion, is that what we're looking at here? Maybe, that you can detach skirmishers from each battalion like you would with brigades in the Civil War product. Really, really good looking graphics, as I've mentioned before. That river valley you see, like before. Cool cavalry scrum with an infantry square right there. What I would love to see that's not been modeled well with any product yet, I mean, Total War, sure, but is peak realism for the inclusion of dragoon cavalry, not necessarily melee cavalry, but cavalry that can harass squares a little bit with their pistols and their little musketoons or what have you, and could maybe help a cavalry division's artillery push a group of squares back. I would love to see that implemented for sure. Now you got your artwork here. Oh, yeah, you know what we like, looking at guys in parade and formation just like this. This is fantastic. Uh-huh. That, to me... So, okay, we're looking at couriers right here, guaranteed. That's what these are. You have a general and his staff. Same here. Same here, it looks like. So if I were to just take a guess, this is a corps, let's say. All of these troops. So you've got a division here, and here, and back here is what that looks like. But then again, there's so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 5, 6 general staffs. So maybe these are all brigades. Brigade commanders. Interesting. Tough to tell. Tough to tell. Then here we have this one. Take a study. Oh, look at how massive that is. That looks great. You can see the front line of what appears to be maybe a division-sized force. I think we may be working with, we may not be working with battalions here. Same as the original product for Civil War, the base game product where they have only the brigade-sized units that you can work with. It looks like that might be the case here. It's tough to tell, although this would suggest a big grouping of as much as a division of troops. Same here. Same over here, and this may be a giant corps, because you can see these little general staff groups here, one here, one here, one in here, one in here, maybe. No. Here, here, and back here. Tough to tell for sure. These appear to be perhaps like places where howitzers have exploded. Corpse strewn. Chaos. Wow. Tough to tell anything from this necessarily here. You're looking at a number of very basic, I think, formations thus far. You've got your column by division. I've seen this is kind of like a deeper column by division formation. Maybe field column. It's tough to tell. You've got your skirmishers. That's obvious. We've seen square, and we've seen cavalry in line, and cavalry on the attack and on the retreat. Oh, wow. Now this is interesting. You're looking at something that's kind of Total War-esque, what you're seeing here. But look at this. This looks here like it's an indicator of a division commander and his staff, perhaps. Here's maybe 1 brigade, 2, and 3. And 4, reserve brigade maybe, and then maybe all of its subordinate units. Tough to tell. Fantastic looking map. Just absolutely fantastic. And this big grand battery of artillery, the smoke effects look like they're going to be really on point too. I love that. Yeah, there's the video again. Fantastic. Well, there you have the latest from Grand Tactician, as seen for the very first time anyway, here on Alternate History Gaming. Guys, I appreciate you taking the time to check this out with me. If you like this content and you're excited to follow the development schedule, the release of this particular title, please let me know. Click that thumbs up button for me. Subscribe to my channel, because we'll be following this one closely. I'll probably dive into some of the developer blogs in more detail as we approach a release date, and hopefully we can find out more sooner rather than later. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell to find out the next time I drop a big video for you. Until then, I'm Bank60s. Later.